Hello everyone, today I've got an absolute banger of a chess game. The year is 1912 and with the white pieces we've got Edward Lasker and with black pieces we have Sir George Alan Thomas. With the white pieces we don't have the actual world champion Emanuel Lasker, but Edward Lasker is somewhat like a brother from another mother. In the opening it seems like a normal Dutch defense and then things take a big turn in the middle game because we have an absolutely brilliant move and a crazy move sequence that brings this king, which was castled in the game, all the way to the first rank on our board, all within 20 moves of a normal game. So we kick things off with the move d4. It's met with e6, knight f3, and the pawn goes to f5. This looks like a normal Dutch defense. After moves like bishop g5 or maybe pawn g3, this will enter the Dutch defense. But here, even though white played d4, white is not looking to occupy space on the queen side and won't play some normal moves like c4, e3, bishop d3, knight c3 with classic positional advantage. But white goes knight c3 and is looking to go e4 and to perform some attacks in the center of the board, actually punishing black for playing the move f5. Black develops with the move knight f6, and here we play bishop g5 to pin this knight to the queen. The pin is blocked, the bishop develops to e7, and now we can't really play e4 because black has two attacks on this pawn while we only have one defender, so we have to get rid of this knight. And here Lasker plays bishop f6, and after the trade happens, we eventually go e4, and now we start an attack on the center of the board. We have takes, and now black is in a little trouble because he has to castle or he has to go knight c6 to follow in his development, but he plays an inaccurate move. He plays b6, and this is a little slow. See, black has to castle, black has to develop the knight and maybe occupy some space in the center because we are closer to having a good development and actually securing our king. But b6 is way too slow because black spends two moves on a simple bishop development and he's falling behind. White here plays knight e5 with ideas in the center of the board. This knight is truly active, more active than it was on f3. And after black castles, white goes bishop d3. And here I want to illustrate an important point. See, these knights, this bishop, and this queen are all looking to attack on the king side. So black has to be really careful, especially if he doesn't have this knight on f6 to protect h7 or other squares. So black goes bishop b7. Again, a move on the wrong flank of the board. This is the queen side. We are not really interested in this side of the board. As I demonstrated, our pieces are all targeting good squares on the king side and we want to attack the king. So here black plays another inaccurate move. After queen h5, our intentions are very clear. We have to get rid of this knight, maybe knight f6 or knight g5 in the future to open up the scope for this diagonal, for the bishop to be active, and then with the queen we can punish the king and the game with a checkmate. Let me demonstrate. If he goes like a5 or something that is bad, we go knight g5. This way the bishop, the knight, and the queen are all hitting the h7 pawn. He doesn't have a way to defend this, and even if he takes, it's going to be made because f7 is covered by the knight, and if he blocks this way, again queen h7 is lethal because the knight is protecting the queen and we don't care about the bishop being blocked. So black has to be really careful because if he plays a bad move, knight g5 is going to happen and the game will be lost. And black here goes queen e7. He thought that our whole idea was to take this bishop on f6, and then if he takes with the rook or something, we go queen h7 and end the game quite fast. And he thought by bringing the queen to e7, he can simply take with the pawn, and we can't go queen h7 due to the fact that this queen is protecting it. But he was not attentive because he only looked at this sequence where we go with the knight first and then with the queen. But here, player with the white pieces had a brilliant idea, a truly crazy queen sacrifice on the 11th move that led to a checkmate, a very special checkmate. This king walked all the way to the first rank and then got checkmated. So he only calculated knight f6 first and then queen h7. But here white played the brilliant move queen h7 first. And this is a full queen sacrifice, because we give the queen for just a pawn, but this is enough to bring the king closer to the center. The king doesn't have any choice, he must take our queen, and then it's met with the move knight f6. And this is called a double check, because the knight is targeting the king, and the bishop is hitting on it at the same time. So the knight can't be taken because there's still a check from the bishop, and neither can the bishop check be blocked because the knight is going to deliver checkmate check at the same time. So if black is scared and decides to step away and go in the corner, it's met with knight g6, a fork on these three pieces, and the checkmate at the same time. See this geometry where the knight is hitting the king, these two squares are blocked by another knight, and this square is sadly taken by his own piece. So in order to not get checkmated in one single move, black has to go king h6. But after king h6, we have knight e g4. And after this check, black has only one escape. Its only move is king g5, and it's met with the move h4. And again, he has only one escape. He must go king f4, and we give another check. We go pawn g3, and he has to step on f3. So we brought the king all the way from g8 to h7 to h6 to g5 to f4, and then to f3. And now we give another check. We go bishop e2, and the king can't run in the center of the board because we have this knight on f6, so he must go to g2 where he attacks our rook. But we don't worry, because we can give another check. Rook h2. The rook is protected by the knight, and the pawn is protected by the rook and the king at the same time. So this check is safe, and the black has again only one single response. He must go king g1. And here it's checkmate time. In my opinion, the coolest checkmate that white could have delivered is long castle, because we move the king, but actually the rook gives a check, and this is pretty cool. But the guy with the white pieces chose to play king d2, and this is how he won the game, because this is a discovered check, a discovered checkmate indeed, with the king. So yes, a king move, but the rook is the one who gives the check and who gives the final blow, because the king walked all the way from e8, he castled, he joined the g8, and then h7, h6, h5, g4, f4, f3, g2, g1, and suddenly he got checkmated. So this was the crazy game, actually a friendly game, short, sharp, and surprisingly brilliant.